the favorite in the blue. From Moldova, the human is Blade. And in the bottom right from Russia, but today playing from LA. Trying his luck at poker and at the Night Elf race with the keeper first here is Neutron. I took a look at the map vetoes, by the way, earlier, and they're a little surprising. Not so much from Blade's side. He removes Concealed Hill and Echo Isles, which is something we see a whole bunch all the time. But Neutron vetoed Amazonia, which can be super hard for human to expand on, and Last Refuge, which can be so good for a Beastmaster first. So
that's so weird.
That's weird, right?
I think maybe because he hasn't practiced Beastmaster necessarily on Last Refuge, he's very specific to this map that usually you would do that. Amazonia though, like why? But then again, you know, it's human against elf. If you look at Tidehunters, Autumn Leaves, and Northern Isle, like, you know, I'm sure like both sides, there's gonna be players that complain about certain maps. Like I've heard some elves complain about Northern Isle and stuff, but it's not like you look at any of those maps and you're like, oh no, yeah, it's super one-sided for either race. So maybe he has good game plans on these maps. And that's what he wants to stick to. But yeah, in game one here, it's just gonna be a standard keeper opener where he creeps the orange camp nearby, and you know that against human on this map, they're gonna want to be expanding quickly.
Yeah, going for this creep route can be really greedy against Orc, against Undead, in case you're getting harassed. But human is never gonna harass you on level 1. So you're gonna be able to creep this up fairly freely. Ring +4 is definitely not the item he was hoping for, but it's gonna be a level 2 here for the keeper regardless. The downside here perhaps is he's gonna be very far away now for expansion harass, as Blade is starting up the natural creep already, calls over the boys, and the keeper's gonna have a tough time harassing that one.
Ooh, actually, his footman got slowed, so he's taking a lot of damage on that. You're supposed to be a bit careful. There is a way you can get the water elemental to get slowed and take all of the damage from the camp. Not quite ideal for Blade. It's down to 170 hit points on that one. Footman gets another claw. And with this creep route, the marketplace is nearby. Let's see if he pulls the Murloc camp. Okay, he's gonna do that first. But never underestimates the possibility of buying items on this map here. A lot of players have started doing it more and more. You just go there, you grab one more claw. You're sure that there's a claw guaranteed in there because you've already found one.
Wait, what? It's not guaranteed a claws though, is it?
It is, I think, no?
No, it's like a random one between ring, claws, gloves, circlet.
Oh, okay.
Could even hope for a Pendant of Energy, but, well, that's only really good if you have Moonwells. Might be consideration later for Neutron, who keeps continuing to creep here in the middle. Oh!
WarCraft style. Actually, Neutron's gonna get level 3 very quickly here, if he creeps the orange on the right-hand side, and then that's Entangle level 2, killing footmen left and right.
A player's forces are under attack.
They're trying to get his own level 3, which he shall receive from the giant sea turtles. Lots of giant sea turtles on this map. They don't have much experience and don't have much hit points with 375, but they're level 4. So you can get a lot of experience very quickly with those sea turtles. As the AM does get level 3, the archers... 3 archers just solo creeping this camp without Ancient of War? No, that's just wild, Todd. That's just wild.
Yeah, from piercing, they don't take necessarily the most damage. As long as you pay some attention to them, you can redirect the aggro. He needs level 3 anyway, and then he has Moonwells to work with. Immediately after, this footman running straight to his death actually gets denied. Oh no! Oh, he runs in. Oof, okay, he's gonna be able to get out. What about a circlet here? I'm surprised actually he got rid of that, because that was extra agility for his 2 claws, but kind of weird.
Boots on the AM, is that a bit unconventional or is that normal? Because this is a fairly heavy investment early game, right?
Yeah, it's always good to have, because like now if the archers were to move across the map, you almost guaranteed get a lot of kills on them. They can't escape against the speed of the Archmage.
They're also paying attention to denying as many of these footies as he can. This early into the game without Dispel, there's no way of saving the footies. 1 entangle and 2 hits is going to lead to a kill there, but at least preventing more experience is going to be beneficial. Tier 2 finish is time for a second hero, Tinker. For some reason, very popular on this map. Moon started doing that, and so have many other Night Elves now.
Well, Moon does a lot of things that I feel should come with a disclaimer of do not try this at home, because it's very hard to pull it off like he does. Neutron, he wants to pressure here quite heavily. He's getting the tree at the bottom on the other side, so there is an expansion in the plants. Actually, wait, he's getting Nature's Blessing before getting any tech buildings. I'm a little bit surprised by that. Like, yes, he's gonna buff these trees, not just the ones in the form of buildings, but also the tree inside on the map. But I don't know that it was necessarily the priority that much, but I guess he wants the tree to move there. Maybe his plan is to attack hard here, and then TP to the tree that then would be on the gold mine down there, and to take it immediately after, so that the human cannot be there to prevent you from doing it.
Tinker almost has the next pocket factory. Does not want to walk into the arcane tower. 2 more mana. Oh no, he's gonna get... Oh my god, he was so close to getting burned. Where's the Hunter's Hall? Now coming. I mean, Neutron, he told us that a Hunter's Hall for the Night Elf is never late. It's always perfectly in time, just like Gandalf. But I'm not sure if it could have been a bit earlier here, perhaps. But Neutron is under serious pressure here. He doesn't have to fend yet, does he? No. And so these footies are just dying one after the next.
Yeah, he's definitely committed a lot to this aggression, which, I mean, as much as it killed a few things, the gold mining here from Blade was never slowed down. Now he's gonna get chased away. No mana on either of his heroes. The tree's almost in position down there. It's time to TP maybe, Neutron.
A player's forces are under attack.
Why is he
Going
not
to make
TPing?
the long way back. As finally the Hunter's Hall finishes. And does he have a staff? Oh yeah, he does. Okay.
Oh, he didn't drop the
Alright.
mantle. No. Oh my god, that keeper drank all the juice. He went in his fridge, he drank all the milk, and then he put the bottle back in without even putting the cap back on.
My goodness. How could they? Dude, I remember when I was still living at my mom's place. My mom was one of those people who was just refusing to ever screw the top of the bottle on properly, so it was always loose. And we would just grab bottles, then they would separate, and so many bottles would go to waste because the cap wasn't put on properly. And of course, I was the one that was blamed, Todd. I was the one who was doing everything properly. She didn't close the bottle. It was my fault.
Dude, I'm a big fan of your mom already. If she trolled you this hard the whole time. With this Archmage shows up. That's so smart by Blade, by the way. I think he checked the right-hand side. He saw that Neutron wasn't there. He's like, all right, well, there's only one place you can really be. And now this tree is taking a lot of damage. He needs to make sure Neutron, that he keeps on eating some of those trees. The experience was denied here of that turtle because he last hit it with the tree. And the Archmage will actually get out. Oh, that's crazy.
He didn't follow him with the Keeper. With a bit better movement, he could have forced the TP there. And now the footies are still around. Oh my god, the Waterman survives. Oh my god, don't tell me he gets the tree kill. Oh my goodness. Pause coming in. Ping certainly an issue here for Neutron. Uh-oh.
You should detonate the low hit point wisp immediately on the Water Elemental. Okay, Neutron, he has a lot of gold as well. Like, needs to start spending that on some Dryads immediately to take map control. But Blades, his economy is insane right now in this game. He has so much gold, he's going to be going into a lot of tier 2, I'm assuming, and then just doing a big push eventually down the line. The one thing that Neutron has going for him is those heroes, but he needs to... If he loses that expo, like, the game is as good as over, I think.
Yeah, it's looking very rough right now. A lot of knives nowadays try to rush tier 3 first and get those powerful bears out. But tier 3 is still pretty far away for Neutron. However, Lumber is looking good for him. Unlike the Moon Juice, which is still at 0. A couple of Moonstones here thrown in could go a long way. The good thing is the Keeper can still easily find these footy kills.
This Keeper drank everything. Who does that? He went home, and it was like the top of the day, by the way, so there is no more regen for the Moonwells. He drank all 4 Moonwells all by himself. This is insane. It's like you with that milk cap. Huh?
Yeah, he must have, been raised as an only child. That's how you end up being selfish. I would know. Not like you, Todd. You have a brother and a sister, and you 3 almost killed each other over a pool table, I once heard.
That was a story told in full confidence, but yes, that's true. Let's just say that the day we got a pool table, only a few short days later, we were not allowed to play it anymore. There was too much arguing.
I'm sorry, Todd. Maybe what is told at Five Guys should say it, Five Guys. I'll remember next time.
Who knows? Maybe opportunities were lost. I could have been like a pool table world champion, but because my brother and sister never agreed about the rules with me, because we're all sole losers, like, then I never got my chance to actually practice enough. That was bad, man.
Yeah, I can tell you, I'm not a good pool player. I think Neo is a pretty good pool player, if I remember that right. But yeah,
I'm
I have
decent.
I have very bad aim. That's why I never played PUBG either.
He was always going to concerts and stuff, so he probably would kill us at darts as well.
Dude, we went to Shanghai once to a darts hall or something, and we picked up the arrows, you know, or the darts, what's it called? And Remo, the man with his first shot in his first dart game in like 2 years or something, throws a 180.
And he thought I was hustling him. I kept telling him, yeah, I'm pretty bad at this game. And then the first time we stepped to the dartboard, I do a 180. And dude, the place almost erupted. Like 5 different people left and right were giving me high fives. And they were like, oh man, that was really nicely done. You're so good. And I was just smiling. I was shaking their hands. I was happy. And in the back of my mind, I knew, oh boys, am I gonna disappoint you this next half hour coming up?
You set the bar high on your first shot. All right, we're back in the game.
And then the average score after that was like, I don't know, 30 to 40. So yeah, it was a very short-lived high, which is how I lead my life in general. So Neutron now gonna be sitting at 50, finally has some Dryads and the expansion up. But Blade and upkeep already, 1,000 gold, no lumber, but I feel like there's gonna be a big push coming soon, eh?
Yeah, absolutely. You still want to creep at this stage, right? Like, because you just broke upkeep, you still have a lot of gold you need to spend. And usually you want to get your second hero level 3. And he's playing the double Sanctum, 1 Barracks and 1 Workshop style. So he's going to be kind of heavy on like rifle and mortars. He's going to have just enough casters. Usually you want to get like triple priests, maybe 2 or 3 sorceresses, and then the rest into breakers. And then as soon as that Mountain King's level 3, that's when you're a lot more comfortable to fight. When you reach that 80 supply, which usually you never want to break. You never want to go higher than that. He's even getting quite a few upgrades. Like he's getting iron plating +1 right now for those breakers to have a bit of extra armor.
Very unfortunate here for Neutron. He's not too used to the setup yet. So I don't know exactly what's causing the alt tabbing. Maybe it just...
You mean alt tubbing?
Alt tubbing. Alternative tubbing. It's like where you
and tubbing meta.
at the Winter Olympics, you go down the bobsled, but not in a bob, but rather in a bathtub. Alternative tubbing.
But these cheapskates didn't buy enough time to play as well.
It was his last timeout, by the way, which
I would have to ask for
admins may have to do it. Wait, do we have admins here? No. Okay.
Yeah, there is one in the game. Okay,
we don't have referee rights though.
He's poking the bear with this attack. Yeah, usually that ends with a taunt roll. And actually, his staff of preservation is on the Tinker for some reason. I kind of feel like it should be on the Keeper, because then he can staff the Tinker out.
Giving it over now. Water Elementals, some free experience. Oh, one more. Neytpoh. Doesn't quite get it.
Just like Death Note. Doesn't work.
Never goes through. Sag.
Neutron's still on 50 supply. He needs to start bear production right now. Oh my god, he only
just start the tech now. Just now, Todd. That's way too late.
It's a greater healing. At least his staff is now on the Keeper, so he can save the Tinker, which should get bolted. Okay, so the Expo's running. Blade knows about it. I think Blade here, he knows there's going to be a counter attack at the top most likely, but he has 2 towers actually. He could just leave a few units. I think when you reach 80, you absolutely have to attack. So he's on 78 supply, and I think Blade is just going to go for it right now. The question is, does he attack the expansion or the main base? Either is fine.
Pick up some items from the middle unless they're stolen. Nope, we still got the heal skull, we still got the invuln. And here comes the push. Can just hit the main. Why not? All the moon was there, pretty exposed. Cool creep by Neutron here, staffing back in with the Tinker. Went for the red camp and got the item. great one as well, Legion Doomhorn, but all the Dryads so hurt already. He needs a heal scroll before the fight, it seems. But the attack is coming, and it's coming too early. One Lord taken out already. It's only Dryads, not a single bear.
It's pure Dryads against a lot of rifles, a lot of mortars. They're gonna die very quickly. This spell will be working this time. The mortars, the primary target here of Neutron. Yeah, those rifles doing so much damage. And I mean, Breaker's not doing too great. Like, ideally you'd want to have a lot of them if there are bears, but Neutron's army is evaporating.
Yeah, Dryads with the unarmored type just got shredded by the piercing and siege damage. GG is called. And there was a pretty clear 1-0 there for Blade on the first map.
Yeah, seemed like not really the big test of strength for Blade yet. He was just getting his expansion up, building 70 supply, push. Pretty much fair, easy game for him. Yeah, that's how it can look like, right? If your opponent is on the other side of the world and you play on a European server. But hey, that's how it is. Everybody knew beforehand.
Yeah, we've seen on some other maps on some other games on Tidehunters before how rough it can be for the humans sometimes. You call out the militia, you take out the natural, and it's not a very hard camp to creep, but it is pretty tanky, all things considered. The Keeper shows up, summons the Treants, kills more and more peasants. We've seen games end there quite a bit in the past. Here the choice of Neutron to creep level 2 first at the big camp. Not sure it's the right one. It takes forever, it takes more resources. Your Keeper's just no threat for such a long time. But yeah, Blade here got away with a fairly easy one, I want to say. On the second map, it might look different, which is going to be Northern Isles.
Is it up, though?
It's not up yet, though.
Okay, then we have a little bit of time.
And I wonder how, in particular, Neutron might play any different here, if he might even do that at all. He's capable of playing Warden on this map. There's so many different creep routes. Do you go, like, the main two is whether you do the Tusker camp first or do you do the expansion first. If you do the Tusker camp, might be more inclined to go for a Warden. You could also still go Keeper, but if you do the expansion, usually that's with a Keeper a lot of the time. And then you just hope you're gonna find something like a mana pendant. So Blade obviously is very familiar with all of these. Neutron is still a tricky player in that he's able to mix in some Mass Tier 1 builds. So if you want a straight expo against him, it's always gonna be kind of scary because then he can just all in you with a lot of hunts and like APs and all that. So it's going to be a very interesting dynamic heading into map 2. And you mentioned mass hunts earlier as like somewhat of like a good plan / shortcut that you might want to take when you have a higher ping, which is the case now for Neutron.
Yeah, I think so too. We don't have to discuss the normal meta and the normal conditions because it's clearly not what we have to our hands, right? We have to think about what is possible with a higher ping. How can you surprise? What's the cheese that might work?
Yeah, and this might go hand in hand here with the map choice as well. Oftentimes Night Elves veto this map because the human can fast expand here and get level 2 right away. But in that case, the AM is going to be stuck on level 2 for a very long time, usually. And with such a scenario, hunts all-in pushes with APs can be very scary. So maybe that's the idea here. Maybe Neutron is giving this map to the human, just trying to bait him into a fast expansion and then trying to punish it with the mass huntresses, which are seemingly hard to make work against the top humans, but maybe he's gonna try.
Game is up, so we're waiting for the players to join to give you match points for the Moldovan Mauler. Wouldn't be surprised. Huh?
Massive shout out to Neutron for, he wasn't on cam initially and then he turned on his camera on his phone.
Right?
So we could actually see him.
The technology in 2021, man, that's quite something.
Don't you guys have phones?
We all have phones.
But nowadays we can even play games like Pokemon Dota or whatever it's called.
Pokemon Dota? What?
They brought out a Pokemon MOBA recently.
No.
Did you not hear about it?
No.
Aren't you following Kilaris and Wardy on Twitter? They're talking about that nonstop.
Yeah, well, when they do too much about it again.
Blocked or muted, yeah.
Actually, yeah. You gotta do what you gotta do to get through the day without reading 1,000 tweets about Pokemon.
Didn't you want to hear about his BMW a couple more times?
It's so cool to make fun of people who are not around when they're busy and working on other streams.
No! All right, we got the players in the lobby, and we're ready to start this. Is this going to be the next 2-0? Or can Neutron bring it back? Is Hawk really going to be wrong with his prediction?
I think so, yeah.
Well, there's a glimmer of hope for the Neutron fans around the world. He says he fixed the alt-tab problem, so he can unleash the full force on Blade now, on Northern Isles, on his map. That's something, right?
Yeah, for sure. Like, you don't want to have any issues when in important matches like this. Neutron, it is his A game here against a Blade who I really think going into this tournament, Blade has a real chance of going very far. I wouldn't be surprised if he made the semis and maybe even the finals. Like if he's on fire enough, obviously you have to dodge Happy, but who knows?
So far, Blade always made it into the playoffs. Was one in one final, but otherwise, quarterfinal was also the end for him. Let's see if we can take it a little further. Of course, it's a hard circuit with Happy and X-Lord and Hawk around, but maybe now that Vortex is out, he can go into the semis once again. Anyway, map 2. Have fun.
It's cold, it's raining, it's snowing. It's very much unlike what it's like in Cologne. I think, Todd, you told us earlier, it's a bit too hot for your liking right now, but here it's cold on our second map on Northern Isles. And my first question that stands out is, what hero are we going to see from Neutron? What do you think?
I think when he goes for the Tusker, you know, like I said before, it's between the Keeper and Warden. I don't know how well practiced he is these days with the Warden, so I'm leaning towards the Keeper here as being the likely hero of choice. But maybe he feels like he has nothing to lose and he just throws in a Warden. That would be very interesting if he were to do that. But no, it's the Keeper. On the other side, the altar is upwards for Blade, so it means small green camp first, or the straight expansion creep, which on this map is extremely popular, and I really it's been figured out as like one of the better creep routes from humans.
And, you know, keep those fingers crossed for the Claws +9, which would be glorious at the beginning. These first early items can already make quite the difference. Whether it's, for example, a big mana potion or a Scroll of the Beast, should it come to a push. But that would be very all-in. Neutron has the option here with creeping the Keeper and then harassing, likely, with level 2 to follow up with the Huntress all-in. But as I said earlier, normally the top humans seem to be very, very good against that. With proper militia call, with good macro, getting up some towers, getting footies when they need to, and hopefully also getting an AM. We're going to see now whether it's going to be the straight expo indeed, which it is. 6 militia called. Wait, does he even have enough lumber then for the expansion?
Like barely. I mean, he might not even necessarily take it. Maybe he's just scouting and then goes home, but I think he would take it. It might just be a little delay. It's kind of weird, actually. Yeah, usually when you do that, you want to do only 5 peasants, not 6. So that's definitely something a little strange. But maybe he was planning on sending that one back the whole time, because usually one of them, there's that little Tusker always doing extra damage to, like, this guy never want to target one of the water elemental. And he gets Claws +9. Oh my god, I didn't even know this item dropped here.
Ding, ding, ding. That's by far the best item here for the early game. Late game, you can make an argument maybe for a pendant, but early, this is the best. And he sends back the peasants. Not even expanding, just going for that fast expand, or for the fast creep rather, and then gonna go into attack, it seems.
Yeah, Blade is like one of the last humans that tries to play like this. Most humans, you know, it's like get rich or die, trying to expand every single game, but he's actually incredibly strong at one base pushes. And the thing is, he's one of the only guys that does it. So not only is he really good at it, but also you never really get any practice against it. So when you find that it happens, you're just not used to facing it, and then you make a lot of errors that you usually wouldn't make.
Being creeped here by Blade. Taking out the greens, one with the AM and the other with the militia, so it's going to be level 3 for this AM before the Keeper has his. Oh yeah, and he's running into nothing. No Ultra Vision yet, he saw this late, and Neutron caught by surprise.
Question mark over that Keeper, he's like, what? How? But actually what Neutron's doing is not too bad. If he can get level 3, that is, but I don't think Blade will give him time. And he didn't buy a Staff of Teleportation. Okay, this is bad. But it actually, wait, there's no Arcane Tower. Neutron has a real opportunity to kill a bunch of peasants here with Trance, with Entangles. He shouldn't start that camp down there. That would be really bad. He needs to pull back the archers immediately. There is a dust. Oh, yeah, almost attacked the creeps. Neutron, run. On the other side, he's killing peasants. He needs to get level 3 ASAP.
Interesting situation here. Keeper's level 3 is slowed down. The shop is lost. The archers, oh, they run back into their untimely demise. Only militia defending back at home. This is probably going to mean low lumber here for Blade on tier 2.
Oh, he
But
entangled
the keeper now out of mana. Had to TP back.
Yeah, he was already getting a lumber upgrade here, Blade, so he probably knew and pictured that this was going to happen. But yeah, Neutron entangled one of the low HP peasants instead of auto-attacking it twice more before using the Town Portal. Some detonates will be key here. Kill those water elementals, get the experience. Oh, he missed.
Oh, he missed the second detonate. Finally, he has it. But it's not enough. GG called, and that was, I think, the quickest 2-0 we've had so far as Blade gets the win.